We just got done watching episode 5 of Dune Prophecy, and man, this was a great episode. I love every second of it. We start with these beautiful shots of these spaceships. I love how these Dune spaceships look and how it seems to be that they work. It was really dope to have that kind of start to the episode. I feel like for some reason I just feel like we haven't seen spaceships that much. I feel like maybe we haven't seen space a lot in the regular Dune movies because it is all on the planet. So maybe that's the reason why it's very dope to be able to see it here. But we just start this episode off with just a lot of things foreshadowing what's going to be happening once we get to the end of this episode. We get to see everybody kind of, well, not everybody, we get to see Desmond, right? This episode is very heavily focused on Desmond Hart entirely. And I think that it was a great idea to do that because he's been a great character so far, and it was nice to be able to get some more lore about him, but in a way that the episode doesn't like highlight him. Like I don't think he had a lot of screen time in this episode, but it was obviously focused on him. The big reveals, the all of those things were very much focused on him, and I like that. This episode was just riddled with badassery. I love the whole Assassin's Creed Brotherhood vibe that his army has, the army of the Imperium. I love the way that they look, and I love the swords and the hood. Like all of that looks badass. They look like Green Arrow. You know that I'm just saying that's how my guy Arrow was looking in the Arrowverse for a little while. You feel me? And that was dope. It was also really cool to see Haviko kind of not be. I mean, it was just dope to see Haviko have a little hair on his chest. You feel me? And by the end of the episode, we can take that by even a more serious meaning. But I just like to see him standing on business a little bit more and feeling a little bit more confident and not whining about things or anything. Of course, that's very heavily dependent on Desmond Hart, but I just like the way that you can clearly see he has a completely different swagger to him as he looks upon this new army, and he knows he has Desmond that's a freaking weapon. Like he is feeling himself, and I like that. I like to see how he's acting, and I just like that vibe. So that was just, again, it was a really great start to the episode, seeing these different things occur, and then it's like a mic drop moment as we see this sister come in, and we have no idea who she is, and then we get a reveal, and we find out that it's Constantine's mama pulling up, and look at him immediately, bruh. She knows it's over. Like his wife knows it's over immediately, and Sister Francesca is pulling up like, what's happening? And then look at the mom. She just don't even know what to do. And I love it. I love it. I love these type of, it's not really politics, but it is a form of politics, right? I like the way that it's really rocking, and how these sisters will do all these things and honestly have no idea what is going on as well at the same time. Constantine really was also another focus in this episode, if you ask me. Well, we got to see his sister kind of talk to him about stuff, and him tell her, I'm never going to let you down again. Just knowing that he has let her down, he's done some things. And that's kind of the reoccurring thing for him, is that people are telling him about himself very concurrently. And that has to be tiring to have people constantly tell you about yourself. You feel me? But I mean, I hope he actually makes a certain change. I mean, at the end of the episode, he definitely looked like he was trying to make a change for some type of reason, but who knows where that's really going to go. We also get to see, I can't think of what this actor's name is. Sister Jin, that's what her name is. I love Jin. Jin goes off. And I think every time she goes off, it is very needed and necessary. And I love the way that Tula sees her grievances and sees how she feels, and clearly sees that she's torn up about Tula and all the things that are going on. And so she brings her in. She's the one that she brings in to kind of know all the things that are happening with Tula, and trusts her to kind of take these secrets, hold these secrets as well, and just kind of lock in with him. And immediately she does lock in. She's like, what the hell is going on? What did you do to my friend? But she locks in and she helps her every step of the way. And she even keeps the secret. She's keeping the secret now. And I just really appreciate how we're able to see that here. It's really cool the way that we're able to see how their friendship really did go a long way, and how she is the only one that is able to bring Tula back. Like she doesn't bring Tula back. She actually brings back the OG mother, which I thought is a genius thing. I really thought that was awesome. I really, really loved it. And yeah, man, I thought it was great the way that they utilized the entire I really like the way that they utilized it all, man. It was pretty hype. Yeah, but I thought this was a great episode. I really love that we got to see Tula shine. We got to see Tula shine both as an actor and her own character. Seeing Mother Superior or the OG mom pull up and take over her body and just be with the shit. I loved it. I really did like it. And I really like the introduction of Francesca, and then she just fits in the story perfectly immediately. We know nothing about her, but immediately we see how important she is to Haviko and how important she is to the Emperor, right? Like, they all love her so much. And I love the way that we also get this other story built into this, right? Where she comes in because she thinks her son is the one that called her, and she immediately gets into the story, throws herself headfirst into everything that's going on, and then she realizes like, oh wait, I'm here for another purpose. Like, Valia has called me. That's the look that she gets on her face, and I love it. I love how everyone knows that it's Valia behind basically everything, including having her nephew pull up and try to like basically beg for forgiveness from Desmond Hart, only to set him up in a major way. But like, it set him up in a way that he doesn't even realize he's been set up, right? He makes him think, he just gives him a little bit of information that obviously Valia knows that he is going to follow the rabbit hole down. And indeed, he does follow that rabbit hole until he gets another bit of information and another bit of information and another bit of information. And then boom, boom, pun intended. And I really like that. I love the nephew as well. Like, he plays this role very well of being the clueless, dorky guy, but obviously he's not the clueless, dorky guy. Like, he's the only one that had the cojones to speak up to the Emperor. He's here lying in Desmond Hart's face, snorting spice. He's a very interesting character, and I think it's really cool to see how all of these Harkonnens are. Like, it's pretty solid to see how all the Harkonnens are. I appreciate it. And it seems like the Atreides and the Harkonnen alike are very locked in with how they are and how they react and occur and all these different things. And then I love, speaking of Atreides, man, it's kind of insane to think that he's looking at like his cousin or uncle or something, and look at how terrified he is because he thinks they're pulling up for him. He thinks that they're on his trail, and he actually has no idea, right? He had no idea that they were not there for him, but he thought that they were, and he was absolutely terrified. He was frightened to his core, and it ends up making him even lash out on other bruh, like, bruh, get it together. Even though the brother Constantine did very well need to get gone off on, he's like, bruh, get it together, bro. You need to make a decision. You need to stop being an idiot, and you need to lock in. Bro, you need to take this seriously or don't. You know, about take this trading serious. And it's hilarious because the whole time he's a traitor. He's a freaking traitor. Yapping his mouth off. He immediately leaves there and goes and warns somebody. Who does he warn? Our fellow Iraqi sister of the Bene Gesserit, or the Sisterhood. And I love her character. We got to see a lot more of her today. And then as we come back to the Sisterhood, we see a ton of them are leaving, frightened of the things that are going on, frightened about what Desmond Hart has done and all of the things in between, and the deliverance of Desmond's DNA to the Sisterhood. I think this is a lovely world building thing. It's something that wouldn't occur in a lot of other places. I think this happens in one of the Harry Potter books when Harry is framed and everyone thinks he's a bad guy and all this other stuff. Like, a lot of the parents are like threatening to pull students from Hogwarts. They think that these things are issues and all this other stuff. And it just goes to show how deep these things are really going, and how these kids here all have families still. They're not all orphans. Some of them are, but it's like they don't give up their family lineage. They still are very much connected to them. And this episode was awesome as well because we got to see the Acolyte just basically really sit back and absorb everything that Valia does. And she really pays a close attention. She watches her. She listens to every word. And I love that fact about her. This episode was really awesome. We also got to see how much Atreides really did care for the Iraqis. The girl from Arrakis, I don't know what her name is. But when Desmond is there, I was literally like, bro, they are setting up so many bombs. Why are they setting up so many bombs? But it was cool to see them kind of come through and just raid the drug house and her have to go through it and just watch everything. And it also goes to show that these women are not just like spies, like they're actual human beings. They're people that have feelings. The relationships and stuff that they establish actually mean something to them. They aren't just all for the cause of the Bene Gesserit and the Bene Gesserit only, which is something that I think is dope to see from so many different people, is that everybody has these other things to fight for and these other things to feel for, which I just really do appreciate. You got to see, I mean, bro is a spice head for sure, with all intents and purposes, bro. What he did the crackhead shiver right there. Like that was the crackhead shiver for sure. We also got to see our guy really whoop some ass, and I loved it. I love seeing bro going in and whooping ass and just taking names as he goes. Like that was awesome. We haven't got to see too much action in that manner. But it was also really dope the way that they kind of mixed these two things together with showing how Desmond finds out that I can't remember her name, but that she is a sister, and then the way that Atreides finds out at the same time. Like they both find out, and she does these crazy moves. Wham! Takes him out immediately, and then at that same time, Desmond is looking at her Bene Gesserit witch outfit, which is it's like a dual reveal in a way. And even as us as the audience, who obviously already knew all of these things we already knew all this stuff, right? Like we already knew that she's a Bene Gesserit. We already knew she was a spy, but they do the reveal in such a way that it still makes you be like, oh shit, that was pretty cool. And I really like the fact that she didn't get a chance to put bombs on top. So when these bombs explode, upstairs is the last place that gets hit, and it gives him time to basically, well, there was bombs everywhere, but it just gave him time enough to, the way that she puts the bombs, it gave him time to still protect himself with the little shield, which we know protects from all projectile and damage and stuff like that, which I thought was awesome. I also thought it was really funny the way he threatens her, and I fully think that the Bene Gesserit from Arrakis could definitely take him out easily, but I think she just didn't, and I like that. That was cool. That was really cool. All of this was nice. I like to see Tula and, Jin have this conversation. And she's like, yo, what have you given up for the Sisterhood? And she's like, more than you'll ever know. And then we find out what that actually means. We find out that means something completely different, which is crazy because it was another dual reveal to where we push in here and then Ashley storms out and walks out of the room immediately after this. So we see the reveal of Desmond Hart on the ground after the explosion, because he is the thing that she has given up for the Sisterhood. We just didn't get the reveal just yet. And I think that they did a beautiful job of showing us that in all of these dual ways. I also love how much Francesca, again, pulls up in just a short amount of time and makes a complete difference and a complete pivotal change for Constantine in his entire life. Who he is, how he feels, what he thinks about in such a short time. All these other things are also going on at the same time, of course, but I mean, hearing it from his mama pushed him to be even more, and it pushed him that extra step closer over the edge, which I thought was fantastic. We also got the reveal of being able to see that not all of the sisters are 100% rocking with everything that the Sisterhood does. We've seen a lot of them question what the Sisterhood is feeling. We've seen a lot of them not just blindly follow everything that they are being told. And I do believe that is for a very important reason. And I think that this show is doing a good job to set us up for the future of what will be going on as well. So we, right here where we see Constantine kind of find out that, not Desmond, I don't know what, Swordmaster, when he finds out Swordmaster is the bad guy, which, he is one of the bad guys, or I guess bad guy is very subjective, but, once he finds out he's a freaking traitor, which he 100% is, he's like, damn, bro, this dude's talking to me about all this stuff, and the whole time, he's a traitor. He's stealing blueprints and trying to murder my family. Like, what the hell is that about? What the hell is all of that about? And it was really cool to see not only, wait, where is it? Right here. I love the way that he continues looking at his wife as he's like saying like all these nice things about his son. And he's like looking at his wife out of the corner, or Francesca, I should say, because that's not his wife. He's like, yo, because he's trying to make something happen with Francesca 100% undoubtedly. and his new wife knows that it's over. She knows that she has lost the battle, the fight, and the war. Crazy reveal to find out that the Emperor's ex-wife is a freaking sister, and the new and his daughter is also training to go part of the Sisterhood. It's insane. And look at that look she gave her. Checkmate. Like, she gave her that checkmate head nod. And then as the daughter and as they look back and forth to each other, it is just so powerful. Everything about this ending was just wild and horny. But, you know, I love how we end this episode with seeing Inez finally use the power that I don't think we've seen her do any type of Bene Gesserit or Sisterhood thing like this yet. But it was dope to see her finally use the power and show that she is locked in. And then we also find out that Tula is fine and all good to go and ready and dandy. And then we also kind of end it with finding out who exactly this blood belonged to, because it belonged to somebody. And I was very interested in knowing who that was. And then it ends up being that he is none other than the descendant of he's not only the descendant of the Atreides, but he is also a descendant of Harkonnen. So he is basically the first coming of Paul Atreides. Like, he is the first coming of Dwaladim. And I think that's crazy. I think it's awesome. And I can't wait to see how all of this continues to go. And just the realization that it's all been her son the entire time is just crazy. And it's like, damn, bro, Desmond Hart is Tula's son. And I have no idea where that's going to lead us into next week's episode. But like I said, we end this episode horny. Everybody is screwing and whatnot. And who knows who knows what'll happen next, man. But with all that being said, I really did enjoy this episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Let me know all of your thoughts, theories, and opinions in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you liked the video. You can also follow us on social media at Marvel Bros to stay up to date with all things Marvel and everything pop culture. And you can follow me at Sensei Finito to stay up to date with all my thoughts, theories, and opinions on whatever particular thing I may be partaking in at that particular time. I appreciate each and every one of you, and as I always say, stay awesome, stay nerdy, and don't forget to stay marvelous. Excelsior.
Or you can join our Patreon to get early access to content, patron-only scoops, giveaways, private Q&As, and those sacred watch parties. We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one.